gentlemen, the following presentation is brought to you by Mr. Main Event Brian Waters and the real Dwayne Alley. The Wrestling Realm, the show for the intelligent wrestling fans. Off the top rope, I dwell in the wrestling realm. Like Jake stay in the snake pit and Kane be in hell. Like Jacob stay in the graveyard, I'm Punk in the shy. Call me Snooker cause I'm super and fly. You can hate all you want, but I'm flossing. The Miz said I'm awesome, and I'm upholding the law just like the big boss man. With Mr. Main Event Brian Waters, the real Dwayne Allen. Toss you over the border like Hernandez, Mandez, pressing the stands. It's the show for the intelligent wrestling fans. Hitman like Hawk, but I'm not from Calgary. I'm all about the bill, so let that gold shower me, empower me like Farouk and the nation. If you don't know your history, then you should change the station. But if you do, you can cruise to YouTube / the wrestling realm. Your lessons are stale. Say the same old lines, man, you destined to fail. Like the Shockmaster or the wrestler Nails. I'm a heartbreak kid, and my bid to be champion is unmatched. Anybody step, I'm face planting them. With Mr. Main Event and the real Dwayne, you the sisters of love, we the powers of pain. You see we coming with a spear while you're monkey flipping. It's Brian Waters, Dwayne Allen, and your boy Trenton. And that's just how the story goes. That's just how the story goes.
As you know, there is controversy out there for all you marks and unmarks as to whether this guy is an icon.
Okay.
Now, I know this has that other label, but if you don't know who I'm talking about, take a good look.
The Stinger.
Or just look right here.
Yeah.
You know, right here somewhere. Right here.
Yep.
Obviously, he was WCW.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if Sting would have owned his rights,
Right.
and let's say he would have owned the rights to the name, and said, Vince, you can't do nothing that involves a Stinger. This one, and even this one, these DVDs can't come. They're not going to have the same impact.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know. So, I mean, like I said, an icon, yes. He's the biggest icon never to step foot in the WWE ring.
Yeah, and it's funny you mention that because I think that's what actually makes him an icon.
Okay.
Like some wrestlers and some people, because they've never been to WWE, you will look at them like, you know what, you'll never be as good as you're supposed to be because you were never in the WWE, or you would be a legend, but you never been in the WWE, or you will be recognized, or your career could have been this, but you've never been in the WWE. Sting's one of the guys that didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
He's probably the only person I know, the only most recognizable professional wrestler on the face of the planet that I can think of off the top of my head that has never been to the WWE but is just as popular as one of WWE's biggest stars.
And you said it best. If he was to walk down the street, let's just say with the face paint on because that's what his character was, you know exactly who he was.
Absolutely. And he didn't need to be in the WWE to do that. There's no other wrestler that can do it. At some point, somebody has always been, even your beloved Hulkster himself. You feel me? He created the WWE. You feel me? The rock and wrestling regime. You know, and it's like at one point you've been through the WWE. Everybody knows that. Even if you were in WCW, you were in WWE at one point. He's the one guy that has never been in WWE, and yet he's still just as popular as any day. It's not like a I would say like a guy like AJ Styles. AJ Styles is phenomenal at what he does, but I feel like in his career he's trying to be the next thing. He wants to be that guy that's that top guy and the most recognizable star. That's never going to go to the WWE.
And he will never do it because he doesn't have crossover appeal that Sting has.
He does not. Because it's not naturally there, and you can't even cosmetically put it there because it's like because he doesn't have the billions of dollars that Ted Turner did to market the guy.
Exactly.
You feel me? That played a major part in guys like Sting being over the top guys and being familiar and getting over.
And like you said it best, the cosmetics, you know, the drive.
Right.
And you look at a guy like AJ Styles, can't deny what he does in the ring, but really, do women know who he is? Do children know who he is outside of wrestling fans? You know, can you put him on a cartoon? Can you put him in commercials?
Right.
People be like, oh, who's that? You know, with Sting, you could put Sting in these commercials.
Right.
You could put him in movies. If AJ Styles was to go in a movie, people would know. Yeah, he played. Let's say he does a good job, plays a good role. People would know him as the guy in the movie. David Arquette. Yeah, he was a movie star first, but people will always know him as a movie star, not as a former WCW champion.
Right.
And so, like you said it best. He wants to be that guy, but that's what makes Sting so great because, you know, I know my boy Cameron G out there say he wasn't a big in-ring fan of Sting.
Right.
I was, you know. He was the Hulk Hogan of WCW. And that's what, as a child, that's what children look for. They look for that guy who, in wrestling, they always look for that guy who's that superhero-like
That
person.
larger-than-life character.
Exactly.
Right.
Who's that in TNA right now?
That's sad.
You know,
I wanted to say somebody, but I'm like,
when you think about it,
everybody's on the same level.
Unfortunately, in a sense, it's Sting. You know, but he's playing the stupid Joker gimmick. But you take that off him, that's what he's playing, that larger-than-life character.
The sad part is it's not supposed to be Sting.
Exactly. You know, so that's my thing with why he is an icon. Because he is that larger-than-life character that never did go into WWE. Now, I say his career is here. You put him behind with Vince money, it would be here.
Yeah.
You know, of course, we want to see Sting versus The Undertaker, Sting versus John Cena, Sting versus Triple H.
Sting wants to do those things.
You know,
He wants to do at least more WrestleMania.
he got you. And that won't take away, or it won't add, it won't take away from his career if he doesn't do it. But it'd be a nice addition.
It'd be a nice exclamation point to it.
Mm-hmm. You know, we know he could be waiting to WrestleMania 30. Why not do the anniversary show?
I mean, hey, it works out. Sting's still active. He's still in shape.
I hope he do this year. That way, you know, we be there and we like, we seen history be made. But you know,
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
yeah.
Sting. Sting was... What do you think about Sting during that time where WCW was struggling? Because of guys like Flair had left at one point, and Sting was the guy who they want to become that large line character. You know, he had the face paint. He was very marketable. Kids knew who he were, who he was. Excuse me. What do you think about him holding WCW down in a way that Shawn Michaels did something similar to when WWE was suffering at the time?
He did what the guy they intended couldn't do, Lex Luger.
Okay.
Lex Luger was supposed to be the next big. He was supposed to be the Hogan. You know, they went kind of in a different direction. You know, they didn't get this over muscle head guy. You know, Luger was in the WWE at the time.
Right.
Sting was taking on. He was knocking down the monster Vader, Rick Rude. You know, classic matches with these guys.
Right.
Even Cactus Jack, classic matches. And that's what I loved about his character. You know, it was awesome. You had, how many kids did you see in the audience with face paint?
Yeah.
You know.
There's always a cheap pop for kids. Just wear a mask or some face paint. Kids will love you.
There you go.
It works.
What about the face paint? We haven't seen face paint. Wow. You think it's played out?
Yeah, of course it is. Because we don't live in that area anymore. You know what I mean? Where face paint is like that was your way to be that character. It's like it's sort of different. I think you would see more mask than face paint anyway.
You don't see what Ryback put on face paint.
I think he'd be a joke.
Okay.
It's hard for me to really get into it with the RVD. Because they got the same airbrush guy.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to do that itself. But face paint, I don't know. I think if it's done right, like the Boogeyman or something like that.
Okay.
That was weird. But like, at the same time, you can only do so much with a guy like that anyway.
Yeah. You don't think the kids will appreciate it? Obviously, we're not going to appreciate it. But
they might. I mean, like I said, then again, like I said, we're older, so they might. You know what I mean? And like I said, if it's done the right way, they can do anything they want. You know what I mean? So it's possible. I mean, there's so much you can learn from the past. So.
What if Sting would have ever took the face paint off?
I
mean, obviously it fell off, you know,
right.
but that was to show you that he was the larger-than-life character superhero who you might see like a superhero you see their costume get ripped up, but it show you, hey, I've been through war, you know.
Right.
So that was cool to see that oftentimes. But just imagine if he showed up, no face paint, you know.
It wouldn't be this thing that we all know and love.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be as marketable.
Okay.
You know, that's the difference between BA Billy Gunn and the one Billy Gunn. You feel me? Something as small as a simple gimmick change can really throw you out. That's the difference between Nikki from the Spirit Squad and Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, if you don't give people what they know you as, then what do you know? It's very few guys that can pull that off. And, so I don't know. I think the face paint has always been a staple. That's why the Joker gimmick. I think for spiritual reasons, Sting has changed up his face paint because of what it actually means. I guess educating himself, and he's switched it up after a while. You know, this is not the same black and white. He added more color to it. But then this whole Joker thing is, I can't get with it. But
even
hey,
if he, I wouldn't. I mean, obviously it'd be different. But even if he didn't go black and white, he would add a little bit of color.
he did at some point.
But not have the Joker color. Cause it's here makes a difference.
Yeah.
All this right here, that's what makes a difference, So, anything else on Sting?
I mean, what do you think about Sting's transition?
From oh boy,
The Sting's transition from, okay, we all knew the Sting character was dwindling down. So he began to slowly wean out the original Sting.
Yeah.
So that means he was wearing darker colors. He wasn't wearing so many jackets. He grew his hair out, and it was actually brown.
Yeah.
He said the face paint, but it wasn't the blonde flat
It
top
was darker.
anymore. You know, and eventually Sting disappearing for a little bit, and WCW treated Sting like he had abandoned the WCW, especially with the NWO taking over, this huge invasion going on. And of course, this fake Sting pops up, and he seems to announce over the NWO. And Sting makes a number of appearances where he's like, "You mean to tell me you're questioning my, loyalty to the brand?" So then he disappears for a while. He goes up to the rafters. He comes back when white face paint, black, this new Dark Crow type character. What do you think that impact had on his career, and why it makes him an icon? And what if he doesn't do that?
Okay, to answer the first question, rejuvenation.
Okay.
It's like Hogan when he went from the red and the yellow to the black and the white.
Right.
It's rejuvenation. It gives you a new character. Part of what John Cena, what people say about him is we've seen the same guy over and over again.
Right. Same thing with Orton.
Definitely. So with Sting, you get a rejuvenated Sting. You get a fresh look. You don't have to turn him heel.
Right.
That's the best part about it. You don't have to turn him heel.
That's the biggest
difference. And then you also, let's go back to WrestleMania. I know I keep making WWE references, but it's kind of help educate those who didn't have the pleasure of watching WCW.
Okay.
Remember when you kept saying that, okay, Cena then came out in the, or let's say post-WrestleMania. You said, that green, bright color is not going to work for Lesnar.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
This colorful guy was not taking out the NWO. Because they was destroying Savage, Flair, Arn, Luger before he jumped.
Right.
So and these are, Savage, who's a relatively colorful guy. Then you take out, they even, naturally they destroy Sting before he left. So now you turn him black and white. Now it's a more serious, a more demonic look. And even though he, it was not so much, I don't say demonic because I don't want to make it seem like he was the quote unquote devil. But it's more of a serious, more.
It's a darker look.
Darker, yeah. He didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
He was meaner. And that was the best way to transition. Because now we're thinking, wait a minute. These guys really trying to take over WCW. The crowd is like, who can we call on? So you go out and get your biggest star, but you change him. So he's not that flashy, funny guy no more. This is like, oh shoot, this guy's serious. He means business.
Right.
He coming out there with the bat, beating down everybody. The old Stinger wouldn't have beaten up nobody with no bat.
Right.
So I really love the transition. If he doesn't do that,
I don't know if he'd be still having a show.
Yeah, WCW folds because then after a while it gets boring quicker.
Yeah.
It's they without him making that transition, people are like, well, Sting who?
Yeah, I guess then it would be fair to say that maybe he was overrated. Then it would be fair if his career stops with the face paint and the regular, and he doesn't make that transition into the Crow type of thing.
And that's the main thing, being able to transition.
Right.
Goes to show depth in the character. Then, when he joined the Wolfpack.